200K to just buy as simple as ugu, pepper, tomatoes. Imagine. And for instance, I've not even spent up to 50K or even 30K to grow my vegetable. 11 months is still producing. You can imagine. So it saves you money. Your health is intact. Your health, everything about growing your food is amazing. By the time you start, you will be so grateful. You know, there's so much to share about growing your food. You can't exhaust it. This is little I would like to share, ma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. That was really awesome.
The network here is a bit poor.
That's fine. We can hear you. I hope everybody heard Miracle. I hope everybody heard Miracle. I hope we all heard Miracle. Can you hear me? Please let me know.
Yes, I can. The line is breaking though.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
All right, so Miracle, thank you so much for sharing such wonderful, wonderful experience. Oh, great, 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 great. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so that's just somebody that took this class. The last class that I had. I think no, the second to the last class that I had, and I wanted to share. I wanted her to share our experience with you so that you understand that I am not joking about this. I intend to impact.
Yes, please.
100,000. Hey, hallelujah, Mrs. Shomoye. Can you introduce yourself now? I just heard your voice. So unmute yourself, and let me hear you speak. Mrs. Shomoye, I would like to hear from you why you are here, what you do, and why do you want to grow your food. Mrs. Shomoye, please go ahead and speak. Mrs. Shomoye, you wanted to speak? You can go ahead and speak now. I don't know what's going on with Mrs. Shomoye's audio at the moment, but then it's fine. Anytime you want to speak, ma'am, we are here for you. So as I was saying, I intend to make sure that 100,000 women start growing their food before 2030. 2030 is a long time as far as I'm concerned. I want in this year alone 1,000 women or 10,000 women to start growing their food. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I want to make sure that they're able to grow their food, even if this class is going to be for free. The only reason why we're making this class a paid class is because we have so many things we have to instill to make sure that this class holds. We have so many things that has to be put in place, and we have to pay money for it. And then secondly, when you don't pay money for something, we have realized that people trivialize this thing. They trivialize this thing, that they feel that, oh, this is for just free. It's just free. No, when you take the pain to pay for something, you appreciate it. You go the extra mile to want to, do something extra because you paid for it. And that's why it will continue to be a paid class. But I will try as much as possible to get sponsors to sponsor so many people that would love to be in this class but cannot because of funding, and which we understand. Nigeria is just so hard for people in Nigeria these days. But then again, we move, like we say at the foundation, we still move. We still make sure that all of these things don't deter us. We are moving forward. So I will return back to what I was saying. There is a food crisis and there is a climate crisis. We need to realize that everyone needs to start growing their food. Food is expensive in the market. Vegetables are expensive in the market. Miracle just shared that in 1 month, somebody spent 500,000 naira buying vegetables and fruits. And that's because the person even has money. But guess what? Even if you don't have money, if you are a veggie person, if someone will make sure that vegetable is always in the food, calculate how much you spend on ugu every day. Multiply it times 30 days. Let me know how much that is. If you can do that right now, please put it in the chat box. Let me see. Do that right now. I put it in chat box. How much do you spend on ugu? That's ugu, okra, ewedu, eforiro. Now let's talk about the fruits. How much do you spend on oranges, purple, mango? Just give me a rough sum. Multiply it by 30. Give me a rough sum and let me see it in the chat box. Somebody just told us that 500,000 naira was what this person spent on vegetables and fruits every month. Where that money is coming from, we don't even know. But then again, that's how much. And guess what? You are spending 500,000 naira on accumulating toxic substances into your body. And then a few years down the line, you start complaining of cancer. You start complaining of cardiovascular diseases. You start complaining of headaches. You start complaining of asthma, skin rashes, different diseases. These are the things that people actually experience from toxic veggies and fruits and food that we eat from the market. Now, Nigeria is not a producing country. We depend solely on exportation and importation. But guess what? We can start something as individuals. I'm very happy that men have joined because we usually would have only females in this class. Well, we have men now in this class. So which means that some men are actually thinking sustainably. And we need to encourage them to do so because many of our men are the ones who champion growing food, farming in Nigeria, in Africa today. But then again, we need to start teaching them the right way of growing our food so we can last long for our children. Somebody, very active person, just died. Active. Apart from villagers, like people will say, it is your food. The stress in this country is just enough for anybody to die unannounced. But guess what? God is with us. So with God, all things are possible. And God actually created all these things for our use. He gave them to us from the beginning. The first things, one of the first things God created were trees, even before he created man. These things were there for our sufficiency. How can we be self-sufficient on our own, knowing that what we eat outside there? Put your phone. Thank you. Please mute your phone, Mrs. Adejumo, Juliana. Thank you so much for joining this class. But please mute your phone. We need to understand that our food system is degrading, is degenerating. Our food system is in danger. And we need to start growing our food ourselves and eating what we can at home. You don't need a farm to grow your food for yourself. You don't need a farm. All you need is some couple of containers. Like I told you, Miracle gave me a bathtub to add to my collection of recyclables that I have at home. I plant in tires. People always shout and scream when I say I plant food in tires. Yes, you can. Tires degenerate only when they are not in use. They become toxic to the environment and to health only when they are not in use. But when tires are in use, they are okay. And then if you want to further protect yourself, cover it up with another container or plastic. You use your plastic to grow your food. This is a class. Thank you very much. As I was saying, you can reuse your plastics. We have taught schools, women in communities, in low-income communities, and in estate high-income communities on how to recycle and how to upcycle, turning your plastic waste into wealth by growing your food. I'm going to show you something very quickly. Let me see if I can, let's go back to class. Let me show you something quickly. This is something that, this is your class. This is module 1, week 1. Once you enter the class, this is there for you. I have videos, I have books that you can read as well on. This is Adejumo. Use your phone. So this is something you can read up on in your class. How to grow your food with Temitope Okuno. I have laid down different kind of, ways. Look at this, for example, growing plants in your tires. This is another way you can grow your plants in your tires. I shared this. I'm sharing this now because there's some people that are still in doubt. This is spinach growing beautifully in somebody's compound that I actually, she begged me. She said, I want tires, only tires in my garden. And then we had to do this for her. These are the things you can grow in your, using tires. I'm just showing you tires now because that's what we're talking about. Tires, different designs, shapes. You can grow your plants, your veggies, your crops, your herbs, your roots. I mean, this is the spices. This is basil, that you can grow in tires. You can also grow in cups. These cups, I remember this cup vividly because I took them from a function that I went. It was a children's function, and we had these cups that they gave all the children, about more than 50 children. We collected all the PET bottles because it was just lying down on the floor, and all the cups, and then we decided to come back home, wash it, and turn them into planters like this. So you don't need to go to the market and buy planters because you want to grow food. No, use what you have. And for those people who like to go to Owambe, when you go to your Owambe, do not be afraid, do not be shy, do not be, do not feel anyhow. Just tell them, oh, please, boy, all the PET bottles, please, I need them. Even right now, PET bottles alone earn you money. I know some teachers that have done different things in their schools. Different schools have gone into recycle challenge, and they are making a whole lot of money from 15,000, 30,000, 50,000. 50,000. I know of a school today that has collected 50,000 naira from just recycling PET bottles. So for you, you can upcycle. This is just upcycling using PET bottles. These are the things you can do. You can also go in your. I think I'm already talking past our class today. So you can go and grow bags as well. Different things. These are the things that I've grown by myself. I've grown peppers, different kinds of peppers, from green to yellow to orange pepper. I've grown lettuce, different kinds of lettuces. I've grown mint, tomato, just name it. In my house, I have 17 vegetables. When I say that, people are always screaming. Yes, I have ugu. I have this one that you are seeing on the video, gure. I have spinach. I have ewe yanokwaja. That's hospital too far. I have cucumber. I have lettuce. Just name it. Name it. Name it. I have grown my onions. There was a time onion was very scarce in Lagos State. Everybody was screaming, no onions. Onions is expensive. I started laughing at them because I have told them, start growing your food. I have grown pineapple. I have grown bananas in my home, in sacks, in PET bottles, in tires, in grow bags, on the wall, on the rooftop. There's nowhere you can't grow your food. There is nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Anybody that comes to my house knows that there's a part of my house that is very bushy. And that's because it's my forest. It's my solace. It's where I find, my own way of living a sustainable lifestyle. So without further ado, because I think I'm already speaking too much, I need Dorcas to please share with us the benefits the benefits. I've already shown you some different kinds of things that you could benefit from growing your food, but then there are specific benefits that you can actually learn from this class when we grow our food at home.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Without taking much of our time, I'll just go straight into sharing the benefits of growing your food at home. And I'm going to start with the very important part that growing your food at home avails you food all year round. Just like one of my mentors will say, if food consumption is not seasonal, why should food production be seasonal? Now, when you grow your own food at home, you can choose when to grow. You can grow in succession, meaning you can grow maybe weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, as you choose. You can make your calendar and you can grow your food all year round so that you have food available month in, month out, week in, week out, year in, year out. So growing your food at home avails you food all year round. You can select the kind of vegetables you want. And another thing is growing your food at home, the second benefit, it saves you a lot of money. This point cannot be overemphasized because if you are to calculate how much you spend on buying fresh vegetables, it's going to be a lot. No matter how rich a person is, you spend a whole lot if you want your family to enjoy good health, optimum health, eat balanced diet. You have to incorporate fruits, vegetables, herbs, and all these things need to be fresh. You need to incorporate them into your diet. So when you grow your food at home, you can reduce this cost. If not by 50%, it could even be by 100% or 80% or 70%. It depends on what scope you're going into, how large the scope you're going into for home gardening. You can grow your vegetables conveniently in containers, as you've been hearing. You can grow them in sacks. You can grow them in even plastic nylon bags. You can recycle all the things you have around you and you can grow something. So you can grow your vegetables, you can grow your fruit trees, you can grow your herbs at home. And this makes a large portion of what we eat. Now, aside from saving you costs, it also improves your quality of living, your standard of living, in that when you eat healthy vegetables, it tells on your skin, it tells on your vitality. As you heard our host say, she feels so fresh because she ate lots of fresh things, and you can improve your health. It gives you a better chance. Now, I had someone complaining a while ago that they've been eating lots of fresh vegetables and all, but their health was not getting better. And then what someone asked them was, what's the source of these vegetables? And like, well, they said we should eat balanced diet, we should eat vegetables, it makes us healthy. But the source of these vegetables was from the open market, and they were grown using synthetic chemicals. So there is no possible way this is going to make your health better. The person was getting worse instead of getting better while consuming more vegetables. So it is very important. You see, this is another benefit you should note. It's very, very important to grow your food at home with zero chemicals. We have few organic farmers in Nigeria. So even if you have the money to buy, it might not be available as at when you need it. But when you grow it, it's available to you. You can just harvest and you can use. Again, it helps you connect with nature. When you grow food, gardening is a way of connecting to nature. It's like a therapy. There are people who go into their garden for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, and they also practice eating while they are doing that. That's walking barefooted while they are there. And it improves their health. You hear many elderly people, I've heard many of them talk about the benefits of this, and it's really, really helpful to them. Also, gardening helps you teach children how to have a sense and develop a sense of responsibility. They learn early on in life how to take responsibility for the plants they grow. They learn the process of life from sowing to germination to the fact that they have to nurture it before they reap and harvest. It's a very great way to teach children how to have a sense of responsibility. Now, gardening also can help you have communal unity, in that if you have a community, for instance, or an estate, and different people embark on gardening in their backyard, you can have food exchange programs. Like, I'm growing this, I don't have much space, this person grows the other thing. Since you are growing this, let me grow this. And you can exchange your produce at the end of the day. Also, estates and other communities can also come together to have a garden where they can work together, which is going to boost unity. Because when people get to work together, this is a spirit that is no longer so felt in Nigeria. Sorry, I don't know how to put it, but we don't feel it as much. Where I grew up in Jos, there used to be, when I was a child, there used to be community service where you see people coming together by weekend, doing different things together. But that is not the case down here. Is even in the north now, you can't really find that anymore because things have changed. But if you have a community, you can come together. It fosters a sense of unity, communal living. Everybody works together and then we can all help each other. Another thing is it can also be a source of income. Now, some people have more space than others. And even those who have small space, you grow some things that are you cannot consume them alone. You might have a small family size, or it could just be you alone, and you have to sell the rest of it. Some people turn this into a business. You don't necessarily have to sell. Some people even go to the extent of dehydrating or packaging and then selling to their neighbors, their church members, their different people they meet along the line. Maybe they have groups and all of that. They end up selling healthy food to people who really need this food. Now, these are just a few of the benefits. And then again, it saves you a lot of harm you do not know. For instance, let me give you this example. There was a research that was done a few years ago, and some chemicals that had been used in the soil were still found, the residues were found in that soil 50 years after these herbicides and pesticides had been used. Now, if you have the residue in the soil, what does that mean? What is in your soil goes into what you eat. So anything grown on that soil still carries that residue, and it goes back into your bloodstream, and you excrete it and you consume it again. It goes into your water system. It goes into everything you do. Now, this home gardening also helps a lot because you're able to avoid the use of chemicals. Before, many home gardeners used to contribute largely to pollution in that they didn't know much about how to go natural, they didn't know much about organic. But now you have the opportunity to learn all you can learn about growing your food in a very healthy environment. You can produce what you eat. You can even help your children. Nowadays, we hear of cases in places like India where they had been fighting for years about the effect of FOSSOP and other chemicals, even in pregnant women. They were giving birth to children who some even had things like cancer and many unheard diseases. Babies that are just coming into the world. And these were effects of what had been consumed by their parents. Some are farmers. It was effect of what they had been spraying on their farms that they inhaled. So all of these things also pave the way for us to grow more food. And lastly, and very, very much importantly, we can see things happening around the world. We can see the looming food crisis. We can see lots of things happening. And if you don't get to start growing some food now, you might have money in your pocket, but not have the ability to get the food you need in the market soon in terms of fresh vegetables. These things happened during the lockdown in 2020. People wanted to access fresh vegetables because there was a lockdown. They couldn't move freely. They couldn't get it. The producers, the commercial producers were having their products spoiled on the way. They couldn't transport it where it had to be consumed. And so there was lots of deficiency. People couldn't consume healthy food, and then farmers were losing money and all of that. So this gives you the sense of responsibility and the sense of activity that this has to start now. We need to start taking responsibility of our health. We need to start growing what we eat. And we need to start doing this now so that we can live self-sufficiently. And it's not just about food alone. Even your white meat, which is going to be part of the training, your white meat in terms of birds and rabbits, the benefits are numerous because it's not just about producing them to eat the meat. It's also about using what they give you to feed your plants. So you don't have to go out and look for any synthetic chemical. You have an integrated system where your plants feed your livestock feed your plants. And everything you're using is like in a circle, and it saves you cost. You can spend 80% less on grocery if you take gardening seriously. I'm going to stop here and hand back to the host. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. See, that's how I've been sitting listening to you. And thank you so much. I knew that we were going to do this, we're going to do justice to this together. I remember when I met Dorcas many years ago, well, not too, yeah, about 3 years ago. And she saw the way I was planting inside tires. I invited her to a school. She was like, what's about gold in the tire? The way she said it was so funny to me that I said, yes, so you are going to do it together. Because she's so vast in what she does, she's experienced, and she has, I mean, a whole lot of accolades to what she does. And you have heard it all from her. I mean, if you didn't hear from me, you have heard it from somebody else. I would have loved to bring Okwe Farms to this, but it was just so short. I think she already did justice to one of the programs that we do at SAFE, and I just didn't want to bother her at all. So going forward, I wanted to share this video with you. So let me just share this with you again, and then I will. Please let me know if you hear the sound of the video so that we Wow. Can somebody hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. You learn from that video. Can somebody tell me? I'm going to ask 5 people. If you don't tell me now, I'll call your name. So just okay, Mrs. Ekmayan, tell us, what did you learn from that video? Did you say there was no sound?
Yes. Hello, good evening. And there was no sound, but with the pictures I've seen, I just discovered that you can grow anywhere. Like that place in Uganda, a rooftop. I'm surprised. That woman created that space and be able to grow. And we can grow if we put our mind into it and said we can do this. The little space we have, we can do something reasonable. I was so amazed to see the okra they harvested. The last video, the number of the okra that they harvested on that place, and it was so fresh. And then the food crops, the tomatoes, the cucumber, and the pepper, the red pepper, the yellow one, they were so fresh, and you can see it that is organic. And now try to relate to what happened to me yesterday when I harvested the curry that you brought for us. I only took a little home. The supervisors that came for supervision, they all took it. They didn't, the water leaf, I was begging them that I'm using it. They said they will do. One even followed me to the garden to take the okra that was left there. The woman was so amazed. She said, in this little place? I said, yes. And that was the same thing when your team came to the school. I said, let me see the magic they can do. And of a truth, it came out successful. That's what I can see and learn from that video, that we can do anything in a little space that we have. We shouldn't wait for us to have a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really nice to hear. And you can do so much more. So, I mentioned it earlier that you can actually grow on the rooftop. So I just wanted to share that video with you so you see the possibility of growing on the rooftop. So let me call. I saw somebody now. I told you that there was somebody I was expecting. Afan, Imao Bong Afan. Imao Bong Afan, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, my network is not going to be so good because I'm not in a very convenient area to talk. Okay, so
tell us why you want to grow your food at home and what you do.
Okay, firstly, I'm Ima Kwan, right? And I'm an ESL tutor. So I teach foreign students English, and just those that don't speak English, I teach them. So I'm an ESL tutor generally. Okay, and why do I want to join the group, or why did I join the group? I think maybe for passion, or maybe to just grow for myself. I think because lately we've been hearing of so many pesticides being added to crops, things that are not healthy. So I think why I actually wanted to do the training is just for healthy eating, and to make sure that the fruits I'm going to get is going to be free of any chemical. And maybe probably in future to think about commercializing it too. We never can tell. We'll have to start practicing from small, and then we can expand it. And then from the video, there was no sound, like the other lady said, but from the picture that I was watching, So I was shocked when the lady that was growing strawberries, right? She started small, and then from there she moves to acres, growing in acres of using the acres from very small quantity. So I think it's gonna be an interesting stuff, even though I hope, pardon me, I might be missing the first few hours because of work, but I'll definitely join towards the end, just like I did today. But generally, it's just for my own personal, just for my well-being and that of my family to eat healthy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ima, for that wonderful, for sharing such a wonderful story with us. Permit me to leave the meeting. Oh, that's fine. Sorry, I think that was sent to me privately. But then again, I want to thank you again for joining us. Although we missed you earlier, we had several people who had talked to us about what they felt. Why they are here, why they wanted to grow their food. I've seen some of my students tell me, oh, they wanted to grow their food because of their health. Some of them are battling cancer. Some of them are battling some cardiovascular diseases, while some of them are battling asthma. And because I am battling what's it called now, allergies. Actually, but I'm off allergy now because I am strictly on my own diet and I grow my own food at home. And because of that, I've been able to monitor my food, and I'm very, very particular, choosy on the kind of food that I eat. Earlier, Dorcas was sharing with us the benefits of growing food, and one of the benefits for me is that I have gotten my healing from eating my own food. My food, my farm is my pharmacy, right? People say food is medicine, but how are you able to get food to be medicine in a situation whereby your food, the food that you get from the market, is toxic to not just your health, but your environment as well. And that's why I said there's a climate crisis, there's a food crisis, and it is in our hands. It is in our hands to make sure that we are able to lend our voice through our actions to make sure that our world is a better world to live. Not just for us alone, but for our future generation. Our children will come into this world. They're going to come into a toxic world where all the food and water we're going to be serving them will be toxic to their health. God forbid we won't watch our children die. We will not even watch ourselves die or our elderly die. So it is very important and very imperative that at this point in time that we get to hold our future in our hands, even though we know God holds our future in his hands, but then we need to do the work so that God can help us finish it up. I think the next thing on the agenda is to also introduce to you, please hold on, let me just quickly look at that. Okay, the kind of vegetables you can start growing at home, and then advantages of incorporating white meat into your gardening, into sustainable living, into your garden. Some of the easy vegetables you can grow, very, very easy. But I always like to start from one. Don't go with easy vegetables. Go with vegetables you love. So maybe easy loving vegetables, or easy loving vegetables. So let me see in the chat box, what kind of vegetables would you like to grow? What are the vegetables you love to eat and you would like to grow? Put it in the chat box. Everybody, put it in the chat box. Let me see. Vegetables you would love to eat. Scent leaves. Nice. You know, I prepared something yesterday for my husband. And this night is troubling me that he wants it again. And I'm like, I'm coming, I'm a clap. Okay, so ugu, great. Ugu, okay. Ugu, everybody loves ugu. Yes, let me share with you guys. So last week, I was cleaning my window. Pumpkin, ugu, water leaf, okay. I was cleaning my room window, and After when I'm cleaning like that, bitter leaf, okay, bitter leaf. When I'm cleaning like that, I like to stare into the ocean. Okay, so I live very close to the ocean, and just few kilometers away, I can peep through my window and see. Sometimes even the sun rises from that side, and it's so such a beautiful thing. I have always loved to live where I'm living now. So when I was growing young, when I was growing old, or when I was growing up, my mother used to wake me up with just opening the curtain. Because my room was facing the north, I think, and then when she opens my curtain, the sun wakes me up. You see, and after that time, we have moved and gone to several houses. It has never been like that. It has never been like that ever. But while I was growing up from like age 3, when I started becoming conscious of myself, age 3 to age 5 to age 8, that is the scene I always see every day. My mother comes to the room, she opens the window so that I can wake up. Because when I see the sun, I'm like, oh, it's morning. So I would open the window, she would open the window, and then I'll see the sun. But ever since I became a teenager till I got married, I never saw that thing again. Because it's like, there is nothing like sun setting like that anymore. There's no beautiful scene. Everything is pollution here and there. So when we started living where I'm living now, it's such a blessing to me. Every time I thank God for my husband for bringing us to this house, I see that side. Beautiful scene. And I live in an estate where so many trees. Just last week, I helped a friend grow plenty trees in Banana Island. We grew about 132 trees in Banana Island. And for me, it was just a very good step in the right direction, because that estate now will, in the next future, in the very, very near future, they would have children who will grow to tend that tree. Each one of them, I even brought some of my own fruit trees to them for them to buy, and they can grow in their home. Some of them bought, some of them were not so sure because they were not enlightened enough. But we are going to preach this gospel. Every one of us here, we are change makers. I want to let you know that you are a change maker. Because you attended this class, you are a change maker. Do not hold this knowledge to yourself alone. Talk to people, talk to as many people as you want about this. They don't have to pay for my class. Sometimes I can hold this class for free. In fact, it is on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube, watch it. It's for free. I need you to be growing your food, to be planting not just ornamental trees, but food trees. So what was I saying? As I was looking through my window, for the very first time, I saw my ugu pod. I was ecstatic. Because I've always bought ugu pod, and I've always been afraid of the farmers that I buy this ugu pod from. Thank God I have somebody I buy from now. Some few months ago, it's been organic. So I've always been like, oh, it's organic. Thank God I finally found this person. But guess what? It is very expensive. Now, being organic can be expensive. Let me give you a heads up. Being organic can be expensive. But guess what? It is worth every penny. It is worth every penny. Because if I'm going to eat organic and I'm going to live long and live healthy, I'm going to go on organic. And I'm going to go over it and go on it and go everything about organic. So some of you here have mentioned lettuce, rocket. So Dorcas actually gave me my first ever rocket. Because I've never heard about rocket before. So she gave it to me. Ewedu, ugu, efo, shoko, bitter leaf. So I see everybody wants to eat ugu here. Everybody wants to grow ugu. Great. But guess what? When you start growing your ugu, when I start showing you how to grow your ugu, you must make sure that even when you buy that ugu from me once, you can't buy ugu again from me, because I want you to grow your ugu yourself. Now, me, I have a pod, and I'm going to break that pod in two and grow the ugu that is in that pod. And that ugu that I grow again will produce another pod for me. And they will keep producing and keep producing. Is Miracle still here? Because I needed to find out. Miracle has an ugu garden. Miracle, are you still here? Oh, she's still here, thank God. So Miracle, Do you have an ugu pod now? Please tell me, because I went to we grew that thing together last year. Do you have an ugu pod in your house? Have you noticed the pod growing in your house? Miracle, I need you to answer me. Miracle was one of my students in 2 classes ago, and I also helped her to grow some food at home. Also made a compost pile for her at home. Miracle, are you still here? If you cannot talk, just type in the box. I will appreciate that. I just thought about it when I saw my ugu, and I thought, oh, Miracle should also have ugu pod. FIL, you should also have ugu pod. If you're really tending to your ugu very well, you should have the ugu pod very soon. I will show you how to notice what you would notice to whenever you. Let me rephrase that. I will teach you what to notice that the ugu pod is on its way. All right. So everybody wants to grow ugu. Very easy. All you need to do is to get the pod or get some seeds and start growing your ugu. We'll teach you how to do that in the next module. You want to grow scent leaves. Scent leaves are one of the most. I was telling you about the scent leaf because I cooked something for my husband and he wanted that again this night. So what did I do? I'm growing plantain in sacks at home, and some of it were, of course, ripe. So I took about 3 pieces of the plantain and then I fried it in little. And then when I fried it, I prepared a sauce. So I started eating. I eat. I don't know if you know ofada stew. Ofada stew has been a mainstay in my house for several years now because of the way I love to cook it. I do not like to use Maggi. What do they call it? Everybody call everything Maggi. So Maggi is great, you know, very lovely condiment and all. But then I do not use those ingredients for my food. I prefer to use our local locust beans. Locust beans added with some other recipes, which I am going to let you in on later. You know, with some of my spices from my garden, I garnish my fish with it, or any maybe snail with it, and then I made that sauce and I added the fried plantain in it, and I have not had the last of it since yesterday. You know, and it's something that was so nutritious because the plantain is not very ripe. The plantain is not very ripe. So if you're going to eat healthy, you're going to eat some very stinking things as well, but stinking but delicious. When I say stinking, I don't mean thinking negatively. Like locust, you know, nobody wants to smell the locust, or you don't want the locust smell to be on your hand. But guess what? It's the most nutritious fermented food you can ever give your body. There's so many things that we do not like to eat, but they are the best for our system. I was saying earlier that God made sure that He provided us with fruiting trees even before man was created, so that man can begin to learn that this is where your food should come from. That is where your food should come from. Did you ever hear that they cooked anything in the Garden of Eden? I'm not sure, but we heard that they were eating fruits, herbs for the soul, and all of that. That was what kept us alive, kept us fresh. And we need to include our veggies in our daily food. In fact, there's a school of thought that encourages 5 different kinds of fruits and veggies to be eaten every day. And it must be 400 grams, which means 80 grams of each of the fruits and veggies to be eaten every day, 5 times a day. And that is just what is going to keep our body and soul together. So in this class, as an introductory section, I'm sure we have gone over and beyond for an introductory section. And I really want to encourage you to participate in the 2nd module and 3rd module. So I know that one of our participants already mentioned that she might be at work and then she might want to join it. But don't worry, this is being recorded live on YouTube, and it's also going to be in your class. Like I said, we have a class. It's not the regular kind of training that is on WhatsApp. It's a formal class that is made up of lectures, quizzes, and modules. And I have shown you the class earlier, and I think that if you registered for the Zoom, we're going to get your emails. Did you register when you were coming in for Zoom? I want to be sure that you didn't just log in. Did you register? Did Zoom ask you to register your email before logging in? Somebody should just unmute and talk to me. Thank you.
No, I didn't register. I don't think
Not
everybody
logged
did.
you. Oh,
Yes,
oh.
yes.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Drop in your emails, please. Drop in your emails. Drop your emails right now. Folake, please take in the emails address of everybody, and so we can send them our login details for the classroom. I'm sorry, I thought the Zoom was opened in such a way that you will register directly. Okay, okay, great. So please drop in your emails, drop in your emails, drop in your emails. You could drop it on the WhatsApp chat so that we can have it on your WhatsApp. If you can, don't drop it to me privately, please. Do not drop it to me privately. Drop it on the screen so that our administrator can take it from there and then save it, and then we can send you the link. So you can always go to class later on and watch this video again. You can watch it live on YouTube, and then you can go into your class and watch it. Now, I would encourage you go into the class to watch it because there are several things you can learn from the class. From the videos that we have done before, from how to grow your lettuce, how to grow your roots, tuber spices, even before the class, you can read ahead. But you will not be able to enter module 2 and module 3 because it is not live yet. For everything about the introductory class, you can get from this. On the closing note, I would like Dr. if she's still here, to talk about the advantages of incorporating our white meat with our gardening. I think she mentioned it when she was talking about how we can use our plants to feed our livestock and also use our livestock to feed our plants. That is very awesome for me because this is what I do at home. So I have in the garden far from my house, I raise chicken and rabbit. And all of the chicken and rabbit remains, that's their litter. I use them as compost. I use them as my manure for my veggie because guess what? My chicken and my rabbit, they eat organic food. They eat even snails. Snails eat watermelon, water leaves, you know, those are the things they eat. And the watermelon, water leaves that they eat, they are straight from the garden that is grown naturally. So when I'm eating my snail, I'm eating it judiciously, eating it, mindful eating. As a bonus class after in module 3. In module 3, that's what I'm going to teach you, how to eat mindfully. The way you eat tells a lot on your health. What you eat tells a lot on your health, and the way you eat it also tells a lot on your health. These are the things you're going to learn again in the second and third module. I would encourage you to follow up with this class. You are all welcome. Judicious snail, yes, you can relate, right? Yeah. Ah, Mrs. Alabi, you got it. I'm sure you have been eating snail recently. Even my fish. It's just that I've not been able to accomplish, growing my own fish in my fish pond, right? Because I think it will cost me a lot. So I'm looking at the expenses and then my space. And then water. In my estate, I pay for my water. And in an estate where you pay for water, and the water is not actually very, the water, I don't think, I tested it, and I found out that the water was supplied in the estate is not, it had some things inside. So it's not really very palatable, for my plants and also for drinking. So that's why I would always say, save your rainwater. As we go to module 2, module 2 is a practical class. You're not going to see me with this my design. No, you're going to see me the way you saw Dokas earlier. It's a practical class where I'm going to show you how to grow your food, the seed and everything, and then show you practically how to use all of these things, all the mediums and everything. You're going to learn how to also amend your soil. There are so many videos that I've done in the past that I believe that I don't have to sit on the Zoom for 2 hours. I can just play the video. You can even just buy it and then just take it and go and learn yourself. And that's what we're working on so that it can be easier for us. Because there's so many people that want to be in this class, but they cannot because of funding. And I understand that. That's why we're talking to very big organizations who can actually fund this training class. And then you can actually pay just little, just little fund for it, and not pay too much, and then be able to participate in the class. Has everybody dropped their emails? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people have just joined. Have just dropped their emails, and we have 6 and 12 participants. What's going on? Ekpanyo has joined. Juliana has joined. Taiwo has joined. Shomole, Mrs. Shomole, okay, Ima, Abiola. Who else? Please drop your emails. Falake, have you copied those emails? Let me give it to Dorcas now to talk to us about how we can incorporate white meat into our garden. Thank you. Over to you, Dorcas. You don't have to open your video because I can see that it's very dark already, except if you're in the house. Please open your video, or if you cannot, it's fine. Is Dorcas still here? Is Dorcas still on the call?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Okay.
Tell us and tell us the white meat, because the first time I heard about white meat, I screamed that, okay, so all the burnings that I love so much can actually be stewed and fried. So please tell us how we can incorporate this white meat, and then we call it a day. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so incorporating white meat into your garden is quite easy and is not so easy at the same time. White meats are categorized they are placed in different categories, but we are focusing on rabbits and birds. We have those two then we have things like, I think ram or sheep is white meat too, but things like beef, they are not white meat. White meat are most healthy for everyone. Rabbits, for instance, if you check health benefits of rabbit, you see part of the health benefits as it helps you heal from injuries, it helps you heal from surgeries faster. That's part of the health benefits. They help you live healthier. They have less calories and all of that. And then chicken, of course. But again, the processing also matters a lot. But for the scope of this training, white meats we're focusing on are going to be rabbits and birds. Incorporating them into our garden can be in the form of using small cages. For instance, if you have a 4x4 cage, that can take a male and a female rabbit, but I don't advise you putting them in the same cage, except if you, for our gardening purpose anyways, you can have a 4x4. That's going to be 4x4 cage is okay. It's going to take male and female rabbits, and rabbits reproduce very, very fast. So you won't have a problem with that, in that a rabbit's gestation period is just about between 36 and 40 days. Means when they get pregnant, they can give birth within 36 and 40 days. And one rabbit can give birth to kids within from as low as 5 or 4 and as many as 16. Some even have more. So from one rabbit, and they can give birth multiple times a year. They can give birth up to 5, 6, 7 times. It depends on your management. And they don't take so long to grow. Rabbits grow by 3-4 months. If you feed your rabbits well, you can slaughter your rabbits. So incorporating this into your garden gives you an edge, in that the droppings from your rabbits serves as manure, is one of the only, not the only, but one of the only manures that you can immediately put into your soil without burning your plants. So you don't have to wait for a period for it to cure and all of that. Once it's dry, the dry poop drops, you can immediately put it in your soil and it works for your plants. Again, their urine can be used as pesticides. It can be also used as fertilizers. They help so much. They are very, very potent as pesticides. So it gives you an edge. You don't have to start looking for so many things to buy outside. You dilute your rabbit urine, you use it as pesticide. You take your rabbit droppings. It's a very, very good source of fertilizer for your plants. And then you take your produce, like your cabbage, carrots. You can grow different kinds of things for your rabbits. You grow some extra, you feed them to your rabbits. Again, when it comes to birds also eat some plants. You can combine feed in a ratio of 60 to 40 for your birds. You can feed them with some plants. You can do a fodder for them, which is a very easy thing to produce. You can produce your own hydroponic fodder for both your rabbits and your birds. So this cuts down the cost of feeding them, which is the fear many people have. It cuts down the fear. So if you don't have much space, you're an urban dweller and you have very limited space, you can use a 4x4 cage. You can have your rabbit family in one cage, and then you can have your birds in another cage. When you're incorporating birds, what you do is, for instance, if you have a family of, say, 4, you can decide to stock 4 birds every 2 weeks, so that once you start harvesting, you have birds for every week consumption. You don't have to buy meat outside again. You can kill a chicken every week or more as you need it. You can stock up as you need it, but you can stock in succession, meaning you can keep stocking every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 week or 4. It depends on your meat needs. Each family has its own peculiar meat needs. Same for your rabbits. Your rabbits, you don't even have to keep stocking up. Once you stock once, a good breeding stock, male and female, they keep reproducing. You can even decide to slaughter the parent stock, let the children grow, but you don't want to cross offspring. So this is a very easy way to incorporate them into your gardening. But if you have more space, you can have them on free range. Means you can have them roaming around. But the disadvantage of that is that if you have your rabbits roaming around your garden, they can eat up everything you have in your garden, even your birds. Birds too eat lots of plants, so they can peck at all your plants. And so you want to have them in an enclosed space. And there's a way you can also create this space in between your raised beds if you don't want to use cage. All these are things you're going to be taught in the class, but incorporating your white meat into your garden is pretty easy. It's easy and it has great benefits. You can use your chicken dropping mixed with some other things to still produce feed for your chicken. You can produce maggots for your soil. You can do a whole lot of things. You can explore. Gardeners explore a lot. Gardeners are creative people. It helps you to think outside the box of what new ways to incorporate different materials from different aspects of your garden into each other. So I'm going to stop here and hand over to the host again. Thank you. Hello.
Lovely, lovely. Sorry, permit me. I was just trying to take Thank you so much for that. Oh, so how many of us will want to incorporate birds and rabbits? I think, can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I hope we're loving this class. Can I get a whoop whoop? In the chat below, please let me hear your thoughts about this. Would you like to incorporate that? What do you feel about what Doka just said now? Rabbits, yes, 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 yes. I've seen a lot of yes. Okay, don't worry. In module 2 and I think module 3, we're going to talk about how to build this thing by ourselves. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Don't worry. I think maybe Doka, can we? I would love to. I had to. You had one. What happened to them? And one was pregnant at the end of the day. They both died. Oh, sorry. When I started this in 2017, when I started rearing rabbits in 2017, they kept dying. They kept dying. I'm like, what happened now? I could have 4 this month. By the next month, when they give birth, all the babies would die. In fact, I had to change my staff that time because I thought it was his hands that were bad. I said, it's your hand that's always killing my rabbits. Yes, you have to learn how to breed it. Yes, you have to learn. I have to learn on the job. I had to learn on many things that I grow today is because I learned it on the job. Today I can grow my pomegranate and it's growing so fast. Pomegranate that many people said that it can only grow in Israel. I'm an Israeli, I'm a Hebrew woman. You know, I'm growing it already. So all of you can grow it as well. I'm growing pomegranate, I'm growing mulberry. Dorcas gave me raspberry very recently. And I'm growing that, in fact, that's fruited already. We've got fruiting trees, we've got fruiting mango already, very short like this. Very short mangoes. Those ones that you saw us post on the WhatsApp group, we're selling it. Just reach out to us. We will share with you our price list. We're making sure that we're making sure that everybody is growing this thing at home. So after the class, you can request. Yes, you saw it, great. You can request to have your own short mango, short orange, short Indian lemon. You can grow your own Indonesian giant plantain and banana. Those bananas are very big and sweet. Any kind of trees that you're looking to buy. Then seeds as well. Just reach out to me and I will give you a list and then you can choose from what you want to do. That's all you can grow. I've grown snot apple in this Lagos. I have grown, what's it called now? Pomegranate. Like I mentioned earlier, I have grown sweet potatoes. I have grown Irish potatoes, yams. In my house, and my house has no soil. It's concrete. And then the little patch that has soil, you can't grow anything there. It's lucky you can't grow anything. It's so salty, so sandy, so it's not good for anything. So all I do is put my raised beds on them and then grow what I need to grow. And that's it. Wow, I think we have learned a lot today. If you know that we have learned a lot today, let me see you say, yeah. If you have learned anything today, let me see what you have. Let me write something, write something on the chat box and make sure. This is one thing that will make me very happy. On our Sustainable Lifestyle Hub group, group chat, I want you to tell me what you have learned today. In a sentence, just write what you have learned today in the Sustainable Lifestyle Hub group on WhatsApp. Let me know what you learned in this class today. Please, that's gonna make me really happy. I learned about urine of rabbit in a pesticide. Yes, absolutely, because that's one of the things. How to process it is what we will teach you in Module 2. And is it Module 2? Let me see. Pesticide. Pesticide is in Module 3. So we're going to teach you how to do that in Module 3. How to make your own pesticide naturally, and how to make your own, apart from the rabbit urine and the rabbit poo. The rabbit poo can serve as your fertilizer. The rabbit urine can serve as your pesticide. And then there are some other things that we're going to teach you, how to make natural pesticides and natural fertilizer, how to grow your roots and your herbs and your tubers, the spices, and a whole lot. You can share this group link with your friends that you feel they should be learning with you, your family. Because the family and your loved ones, they need to, listen to what you have listened to today. They need to hear it as well. They need to start growing their food at home naturally. Yes, that's mixed farming, which is definitely on here. We're teaching mixed farming. Yes, exactly. Because it's something you can do at home. They don't smell, and even because you're not growing too many, so they won't smell. And then I always advise people maintenance. And that's why maintenance is one of our key topics in this class, maintenance and harvest. Very, very important. People will grow, they don't know how to maintain, all the things that we have taught there. And this is one of the things that we have found out over time. And we believe that when we teach you, we need to go over the maintaining aspect and the harvest aspect so that it is an all-round learning. You don't need to come back to me, but then you can always come back to me because I told you, I'm always here for you. So please tell your friends and families to join this class We're going to be live again next week, Saturday. Every other thing is going to be taking all the questions and answers. We will treat them in the private class for module 2. This one we will still treat in the general class. We will still treat questions and answers in this general class. But for module 2 and module 3, we're going to treat it in the private paid class. And this is strictly for paid participants. And if you want to be sponsored, send me a note, send me a private message. We will share your contact with our sponsors, and if they can sponsor you, we'll let you know that you have been sponsored, and then we can add it to the paid class as well, so that you can learn this. We want everybody to be growing food, and I want you to be as little, you're paying as little as possible. We're still going to subsidize this money. We still want to subsidize this money. If we get a sponsor to pay for 100 women, wow, you guys will just pay charter money or nothing at all. So if we get people to pay full money for 100 women, everybody's going to attend this class for free by the grace of God. And that's what we want. We want many people to be growing their food at home. Thank you so much. So drop your message at the group right now to tell us what you have learned, because that's what I want to read from you. Thank you so much, Mr. Tyro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to read from you what you have learned. While we close for the day, thank you for joining our class. I want you to put on your video now so that we can take a picture. That's what we do at the end of every class. We want to take a picture, so everybody, I want to see your video. Turn on your video. Thank you so much, my husband. I didn't get to hear from you, Mrs. Shomoye. I didn't get to hear it from you. Turn on your video, please, everybody. Turn on your video. It doesn't matter if it's in a dark place, just turn it on. Turn it on because we want to have a video, a screenshot of this class. I can see some lovely people already. Mrs. Shomoye, at last I can see your face. I can see your face. Oh, nice. Iman, that's you? So you're dark like me. You're dark like me. What chocolate? What's happening to Doctors now? Miracle. Kilo Shele. Who is this? Your name is not showing, so that's why I don't know you. Sorry. Where is Miracle? Where is Miracle? Who is this? Doctors, I can see your face. Babe. Admin, you don't want to show your face because you are saved. Who just left? Don't go now. Why? Why did you go? Oh my God. Anyway, let me just quickly take that screenshot before everybody now leaves. My screenshot should open, no, it should work. Hey, Jesus, oh, what can I do now? It's not working, no. It worked.
Don't worry, if it doesn't work, I'll screenshot for you.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And well done. You have done a great job. Okay, you can close your camera, but don't want me to see your face anymore. But I still love to see your face. So thank you so much for joining this class. It's been a wonderful time out with you. I promise you the next module, we will not spend up to 2 hours because this one was supposed to be 90-minute class, but then we have spent almost 2 hours in this class. So now that we have your emails, I'm going to send you an email. You will be able to log into class. Don't worry, I'll send you a video on how to log into your class. So it will be a very smooth one for you. And then when you log into class, watch all the videos, read all the notes, comment as well, because it will attract some marks. Remember, I want to give you a certificate. I want to give you a certificate because you can now grow your food. So you can use the certificate to travel. You can use the certificate to collect money in the bank. I'm telling you, I'm really serious. You can. Okay. So when somebody is collecting their money from bank, now don't say I didn't tell you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Say something if you want to say anything. I wish you a wonderful night's rest. See you again in the WhatsApp chat, and see you live on Zoom next week, Saturday. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. 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 Thank you so much for this class, for joining this class. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.